everyone, it's Angie the Craftnado coming at you today with an unbagging from a new to me cross stitch company. I was contacted by this company and asked if I would like to show some of their items on my channel, and I had a look at their website and I said sure, I would love to. The name of the company is VIPCrossstitch. I will link the website and the product descriptions or the product links in the description tab of this video if you're interested in checking them out. So let's get right in and take a look at what I got. I have just a few items. And I did have to open this to see where this came from, and I noticed when I first opened it that all three of these kits that I'm going to show you are all Joy Sunday kits. So Joy Sunday is a brand of it's a cross stitch company that they're pretty reputable and they make pretty nice kits. So the first one I got is this one. It's called Brown Bear 2. It's a 14 count kit, and it is 35 by 32 centimeters. And there's this sticker kind of right in the way of the image, but you get the gist of it. He's just a beautiful brown bear in a raspberry bramble, and my dad and stepmom have a cottage up north that they have decorated with bears, so I planned on doing this one as a gift for them to put up in their cottage. I really like nature cross-stitch kits. Especially one that has such a great variegation of colors like this. I think that this is going to turn out really nice. So let's see how many colors and everything we have. So this is another pre-stamped kit. I love pre-stamped kits, especially for beginner cross-stitchers. They're really easy to work with. And even if you're an experienced cross-stitcher, I find that the stamped kits are just so enjoyable because you don't have to... They're much more relaxing in my mind. If in case you do have a problem where your printing wears off, if you were to get this canvas wet, if your printing wears off the canvas, they do include a very nice pattern for you. So if you do make a mistake or you're unsure, you can't make up a symbol on the canvas, you are able to refer back to your patterns that's also included, which also makes it nice as if you ever wanted to restitch this, you've got a pattern in here that you could work from and do it again, so that makes it nice as well. So this cross stitch kit has 25 colors. I knew it was going to have quite a bit of colors, and when you get these cross stitch kits, they're going to come on this pre-color charted card. All of your flosses are going to be separated in the colors 1 through however many colors you have in the kit. You have 2 needles in this little baggie. It tells you on here that it's a 14 count kit, so you're going to use 2 strands of thread. If you're unfamiliar with cross stitching, thread comes in a 6 strand per each one of these things of floss. It has 6 strands in it. So for a 14 count, you'll pull out 2 strands of thread, and that's what you'll stitch with. And let's just take a look at the canvas. I know we've talked about it before, but just in case you're new to cross stitch or new to my channel and you've never seen me unbox a cross stitch before, with a pre-stamped cross stitch, it's a lot like diamond painting in that the code that's on the canvas does not necessarily correspond to the color of the thread that you're going to be putting onto the area. So for example, number 25 is this light blue color. You're not going to put blue thread in there. You're going to look down here at your legend and see that blue number 25 is DMC number 3855. So you go over to your color card and you find number 25, and it's this nice light yellow color. And so that's actually going to be the color that is going to go into where you see the light blues. So this is going to be really, this is not a full, this is a partial, meaning that you're not going to be stitching the entirety of it. You're going to have some negative space, some empty canvas left over here on the sides and between the leaves and the stems. So this is going to be, it doesn't look like there's too heavy of confetti. But there's enough color changes that it's going to give it a good image definition, and I have full confidence that this is going to turn out looking really, really nice. So that is the first one that I got, is the Brown Bear #2. I'm not going to take the time to pack it back up. I'll just set it off to the side so I don't take up too much of your time today. Let's take a look at the second one that I got. The second one is called A Bouquet of Roses, but you can obviously see that there are many other flowers in there besides roses. This is also a Joy Sunday kit. It's also a 14 count, and the centimeter measurement on this one is 41 by 41 centimeters. So it is a little bit bigger than the last one that we showed. That one with the bear, that's kind of a really nice size. It's not too big to make it unwieldy, but it's not so small that you're not going to get a lot of good definition. So that's really a good size, and we'll compare it and see what this one looks like. So we've got the same deal with that, where you have your very nice printed colored chart that's included with the stamped canvas. And this one is, like I said, quite a bit bigger. Down here, I didn't point it out on the last one, but it also gives you a stitch count. So it is 41 by 41 centimeters, but your stitches are going to be 180 by 180 stitches. And what that is counting is from edge to edge here. Because this is another one that's not a full coverage cross stitch kit, you're going to have, you know, parts of the canvas that are not going to be stitched. That's measuring, that 180 is measuring all of it. So you're not actually going to be stitching all 180 by 180 stitches. But this is, again, this is a really nice size, and this would be perfect for gift giving as well. You could really finish this really nicely in a frame. And I've done this with other Joy Sunday kits. I've matted and framed them just from hobby store frames, and, you know, paid for a mat, like $10 for a mat from their framing department, and it has turned out, they've turned out looking absolutely beautiful. So this is another one that I plan to do for gift giving. This one has quite a bit more colors, as you can imagine. We've got 2 swatches of colors. It has 40 colors. That, let me tell you, if you're on, that is a ton of colors for something this size. So, but it doesn't look like there's all that much. There's, you know, a lot of color changes and a lot of different colors in there, but it doesn't look too confetti heavy, like where you're going to have to be switching floss like every stitch and a half. I have done some projects like that, and those can be a nightmare to work on. This looks like you do have a fair amount of color blocking before you have to switch colors, or at least it has a fair amount of colors that are in the same general vicinity where you can travel your stitches. As a general rule, I don't like to travel more than 5 stitches, or 5, you know, across or up and down to travel my thread. But you can. I mean, it's kind of like diamond painting. There are some rules to cross stitch, but there's really no rules to cross stitch. Do whatever the heck you want to do. You can make it, it's yours. You can make it your own. You do have to be a little bit careful when you're traveling your stitches, because you can end up with a big mess on the back, but, you know, do whatever makes you happy. It's your project. Who am I to say? So with 40 different thread colors, they're probably going to have to get a little bit creative in the legend with some of the symbols. And that's what makes it nice about also having the standalone pattern. And this is a really nice big size pattern, is if you're unable to differentiate between some of the symbols on the canvas, you can refer over to the pattern and get some clarification. So it's really nice that they give you this really big, it's a really nice weight and gloss on the paper, on the pattern. So it's really nice that they give you that to refer back to. And I didn't mention it before, but also if you're new to stamped cross stitch or cross stitch as a whole, with these stamped kits, you don't have to worry about these colors showing through. After you're finished stitching this, you're going to use the key and you're going to stitch the colors that match the key into each area. But when you're finished with it, you're going to take this whole thing and you're going to soak it in water. When you soak it in water, it's going, all of this, every single bit of printing that you see on this canvas is going to disappear. So you'll soak it, rinse it, soak it, rinse it. There's instructions on the back of the package that tell you exactly how to do it. But I've done it several times and I've never had a problem with lingering printing, and I've never had a problem with the printed ink transferring onto my floss. So at least Joy Sunday, I know for sure, does a great job of making sure that their dye that they use in here is not going to dye your floss. So you don't have to worry about that even with light colors. And these threads look very nice as well. They look nice and silky, and they look like great colors. There's a lot of different greens in there. So a lot of different greens, pinks, browns, beiges, blues. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just finished a stitching project, so I'm kind of itching. I've been feeling very stitchy lately. I've been doing a lot of cross stitching, so I'm kind of itching to start another project. So I think I'll choose one of these and start a new cross stitch project. The last one that I have to show you from VIP Cross Stitch is this one that I think is absolutely gorgeous for fall. It's called Autumn Impression 2, and it's a lantern that has a scene inside it with a deer and a tree in the forest. And I just think that it is so beautiful looking. This is probably my favorite one of the three. Unfortunately, I don't have a gift in mind for this one. This would be more something I'd want to do for myself. So unfortunately, that makes it go to the bottom of the priority list because gift giving is always my priority. Cross stitch and homemade gifts, and as I'm sure you know if you're watching a crafty channel, are like some of the best gifts that you can give. So let's take a look at this one. And again, we have the pattern, very nice and largely printed on that same high weight glossy paper. And this one is 30 by 37 centimeters, and it is also a 14 count kit. So it's a little bit smaller, and this one is pretty confetti heavy. This, you can just tell by the variations in the symbols how often you're going to have to be changing floss color. And it's just like diamond painting. The more confetti you have, the more detailed your image is going to be. It's the same way in cross stitch. So even though this is going to be a little bit more of changing floss colors, your end result is going to be absolutely beautiful. There is also quite a bit of back stitching I can see in this one. Back stitching, people complain about it, but it's actually very, very easy. It's just a little bit time consuming is all, but it looks like you're outlining almost this entire thing in back stitches. So not a big deal. This one is 127 by 165 stitches, but again, that's a little bit deceiving because, there are large areas on the canvas where you're not stitching at all. But I think that this one is just beautiful. And let's see our colors. And holy wow. If I thought there were a lot of colors in the last one, there are 53 colors in this. Oh my word. Holy heavens. That is unbelievable. I'm doing a Van Gogh cross stitch that has 56 colors, but it is a huge, huge, huge cross stitch. I cannot believe that there are 53 colors in this very tiny design, but they are beautiful colors. Again, really nice threads. They really look nice and silky. Silky is what you want, because if you get the harder threads, the less silky, let's say, they're going to slub up a little bit. They're going to get fuzzy when you're working with them. Look at all those beautiful color greens. Tons of greens. Beautiful, beautiful. So you only have a little bit of each color, but that's okay because it's not a very big design. You don't need very much. I've never had a problem with any of these with running out of floss, and I even make quite a few mistakes. And the nice thing about this is that you do have your DMC numbers on the canvas, and any place like Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby sells a pretty much complete line of DMC floss. So, and it's very, very inexpensive. It's like 50, 60 cents for a skein of floss. So you can very easily pick up another skein if you were to make, you know, a fatal error. But I have never, in any of these kits, I've never even come close to running out of floss, and even with making mistakes. So that's good to know as well. So yeah, this company seemed to have really great prices. They shipped pretty quickly, and check them out if you are into cross stitch, stamped cross stitch, or if you are thinking about getting into cross stitch. I have really gotten back into stitching over the past 2 weeks, and I've just been loving it, having a great time doing it. You'll be seeing some more of it on my channel. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And in the meantime, go check out VIP Cross Stitch. And I want to say a thank you to them for sending me these great kits. And until next time, I will see you guys all in my next video. I hope you have a great day. Bye.